Good morning, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Combe Martin here in North Devon. We got some windy conditions today, southwesterly winds everywhere. So I've come to hide behind Exmoor in a new spot for me. So today, I don't really know what we're doing. We're going to explore it together. I'd like to catch maybe some bass, some pollock around the reefs and the rocks around here. It's a lovely backdrop anyway, so even coming out here just for a paddle is well worth the trip down. And maybe, hopefully, we might push out later, try find some taupe, some rays, and who knows what else. Black bream possibly here, maybe a gilthead, maybe a triggerfish if we're lucky, maybe a little bit early for the triggers. But yeah, absolutely anything today. We're just gonna hide behind the wind. It's still a little bit gusty in places, but we'll see what we can do and win quite a few fish. And tomorrow, if all goes well, we're gonna head towards Barnstable and fish the estuary for gilthead, smooth hounds, and maybe a bass. So yeah, a little 2-day adventure. Let's get on it. So first baits are down. We've got half a mackerel on one side and we've got a ragworm bait on the other. We're already getting taps on the mackerel bait, probably a dogfish, possibly a huss. Hopefully we haven't got too many of them today. Yeah, I'm sort of gutted I didn't bring the other rods really. Or another bigger setup. Could have put a nice squid bait down or something like that. We'll have a few hours for the taupe. If nothing else prevails, then we'll chase some rays and stuff like that. We're on the water a little bit later today. What's the time now? So our first baits have gone in at 22:12. This morning was horrible. Misty rain, windy, horrible. So I wasn't too keen to get down here too early. So we'll fish well into the evening today until I've had enough really. And yeah, hopefully we'll pick some stuff up. So new venue for me. Look at the backdrop. It's bloody amazing. Lovely and warm by that gusty wind. And the water's blue. What more do you want? Let's get stuck into some fish. Bit of weight there. I'm gonna say it's a dog. Fishing in 16 metres of water, so quite a bit of depth of water here. The tide's going out. We're about halfway. Yeah, it's our friend Mr. Dog. Quite a small one. Wouldn't be a fishing trip without one. They're having a good go at me mackerel bait now. I beg your pardon, it wasn't a dogfish on the mackerel bait. It was a conger eel who's not even hooked. But he's just absolutely ruined my mackerel bait. 2 drops, 2 different species. We're flying. Okay, a few taps off the mackerel bait. I don't know what this is. Acting quite strange. Was putting an alright bend in the rod. Could be a huss. It is. And it ain't a bad one. It's been a while since we've had a huss on the channel. There he is. He's had a wound, as he's been in a net at some point with his scars here. Yeah, he's an okay huss. Big dogfish. The greatest spotted cat shark. If he comes down for a nice little picture, look. There we are. Yeah, that wound on his side, very odd. But let's get that hook out of him. Just like that. That's why barbless are always good. And we'll get this guy back. I hope his bigger brother's out there. Another species. So that is pretty much 4 species for 5 casts. Got a very, very pale ballan wrasse. Yeah, a very pale ballan wrasse. With some like electric blue. I don't know if you make that out on the camera along his dorsal fins, on the edge of his fins as well. Quite a cool colour actually. But let's get this guy back. And one more for the species. So we're hooked in on the ragworm bait. I know this is a light rod, but there's a bit of weight there. Might be a dog. Yeah, it is. I think we got another dogfish on the worm bait. I've had a few of these since you've last seen me. Just seems to be dogs, dogs, dogs. So what I might do is move out. There were some charter boats out in the bay this morning, go roughly where they were and see what they were after. Because these dogs are annoying me. So it could be another wrasse, possibly. Just thinking to myself, that tide's picked up a little bit. Yeah, it's another ballan. There he is. Another light coloured one as well. Well, a bit of a first for me. I'm just bringing up my other line. Got a little scallop that's clamped itself onto my main line and won't let go. That is a first for me. On the end of that we had a dogfish, but he spat the hook. Yeah, how strange is that? Put him back. Unfortunately, well undersized. Right, I think that's going to do it. We've had loads of dogfish out on the bait, so we're going to head inshore, sit over the reefs and see what we can pluck out. Cast some lures. We'll put the anchor down and then cast lures while we're bait fishing as well. So it's just dog central out here. It's crazy. There's a few boats coming in now to escape the wind. That wind seems to be picking up, if anything. It is scheduled to go down a bit, but never mind. So yeah, let's head back into the reef, get some baits down, get fishing. Like I said on camera, there are so many dogfish around today. As I lower this bait to the seabed, you can already see dogfish scouting around trying to find an easy meal. It's not long after my bait's on the bottom, the dogfish come in and check it out. It starts with one and the rest follow suit, fighting, snatching, trying to get a piece of the meal for themselves. It was really interesting to see how one fish starts to feed, and very, very quickly after that, all the other ones come in and check it out too. Let me know in the comments how many dogfish you think you see in this video. I have well and truly lost count. But more and more keep appearing, whether it's the same ones or not. They just keep going around in circles, coming back in, feeding on the bait. Or if it's more dogfish coming from up tide and down tide, coming in, honing in on this bait. And every one of them taking a little chunk out of it. Another wrasse. Not a bad one, to be fair. Still not massive as they go, but a little bend in the rod, boy. Check out the colours on the boy. Yeah, not a bad little wrasse. Some really cool colours on him. Let's get him unhooked to get him back as quick as possible. Beautiful stuff. Let's see if this guy will go back. Off he goes. Similar size to the one we just had. Bit less vibrant this one. Not a bad stamp of pollock down there. Something to keep you busy amongst the dogs anyway. You've got to be careful handling a wrasse. They're covered in spines. All of these across here are spines. They've got spines on the bottom here. But yeah, these guys live around reefs. Oh, I've just been nailed by the spike. And kelp. Let's get him back. We're catching loads of wrasse now. Just in the one spot, casting probably 15 yards to my right hand side on worm baits. It's keeping me busy. And I've got this mackerel suspended off the bottom away from the dogs. With hopes for another taupe or a taupe. But yeah, the wind has come in. Loads of little wrasse. Good fun on light gear. Back he goes. And all I'm doing is getting my worm and just threading it through the mouth. Just through the back of the head, so it's coming out the body like that. That provides a bit of movement in the water. That tail's going to do bits, and the wrasse going to have no trouble finding that. And then just a little flick to my right hand side. I have tried it directly below with no luck. So it just shows you can be 20 yards off the fish. It's worth getting your anchor perfectly in the right place. Yeah, little small margins. You could be on the fish, you can't. So getting horrible misty rain now. It's getting grim. If this keeps up, I don't know how long I'll stay out. But we're into possibly a bit more of a nicer fish. Staying deep, this one. That's a dog. What? Oh. So we've come inshore, try for a bass or a pollock. I've just got a little surface lure on, and I'm going in all between these little margins. You can see rocks, shallow rocks on the surface. I'm casting into all the little gullies and just working this lure on the surface. See if I can entice a bite from a bass. There's not many signs on the sounder for bait fish or anything like that. You never know until you start working that lure on the surface. And for me, the best lure fishing has got to be surface lures. It's so interactive, you can watch it come towards you. And there's nothing better when that bass comes up and nails that lure. But we'll just keep working these gullies, work our way back to the beach, get dried off, and back to the van. A little bit earlier than what I was anticipating, but the weather's pretty crap. Don't think this was actually forecast. Right, van all packed up, kayak on the roof. I think we're gonna head towards Appledore, spend the night there. Might get a bit of grub in one of the local pubs, watch England under-21's final, and then up early, out fishing the estuary for some gilt-edge bream, bass, and whatever else takes the fancy. So pulled up at the mark, it's raining, we've got the beach behind us, we've got the football on. We'll cook some tea in a minute, we'll go to bed, and basically we're going to be fishing off that point tomorrow. I've had a little walk around the tide pools, like looks like it's pulling pretty hard, so high tide tomorrow, 8:30ish. We're going to launch on this beach or beach around the corner and get to my mark, and we'll probably just sit there. Oh, Germany just scored 2-1 just before half time. No. Anyway, yeah, we'll go to that point, we'll sit there on slack water, and we'll go for it all day. Try and find ourselves a gilt head of bass or something like that. Good morning. As suspected, this tide is ripping through. We have got some pretty big tides today. I knew that. New location. Don't know if you can see the buoy behind me. It is under the water, and it is enough to make you dizzy. It's a really weird feeling, that water gushing past you this close. But yeah, let's get some big weights on, some baits, and see what we can catch today. So I've just come across a load of feeding fish. I don't know if they're bass, mullet, or what. I'm just going to use the surface lure. See if there's any bigger ones there. They don't look massive, if I'm honest. Look at them all coming towards me. Loads of fish feeding on the surface. It could just be mullet. My guess is they're going to be little bass the way they're feeding on the surface. Let's see if we can pluck one out. There's got to be a bigger one amongst them that would take a surface lure, surely. Just like that, they're gone. Well, our first fish of the day is a very small schoolie bass on the worm bait. A very small schoolie. Nice to see. Bass are definitely back in their numbers. And I reckon this is what are feeding on all the little white bait that are on the surface. So let's get them back. Boom. Schoolies are getting bigger. Oh, either this is something a little bit bigger or lots of weed. It might be a fit. There is a little fish in the mix. Another little schoolie bass amongst all the weed. How he found that bait, I don't know. Believe it or not, if I spin it round, there is a fish. Weed here is a massive problem. A massive problem. Anyway, right, let's get this fish sorted and back home as quickly as possible. Up there, one of the biggest of the day. Another little schoolie bass. Let's get it back. Right guys, that tide is well and truly on its way out now, and that weed is getting bad already, and I know in the next sort of 20 minutes or something it's just going to be unfishable again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little bit of drifting along here, see if I can pick out a fish on the lures, and then I might head over the other side back to where the van was, and if I fancy a spot over there we'll give it a go. But yeah, this venue's not worked out very well. It's just unfishable with the size of the tides and the weed, which I knew was going to be a bit of a problem, but didn't realise it was going to be this bad. And I thought we might have been able to pick out a fish or two amongst them. But never mind, we live and learn. We now know this spot is a neap tide sort of spot. Yeah, never mind. Let's see if we do some drifting, pick up a fish, go home. So I was just paddling in and come across what looked like a load of fish, sort of 3 meters down. So I'm just using the popper to just go over the area I've just drifted over. And my first couple of taps on the rod, we had a few hits. We managed to get a taker. There we have it, little silver bar on the top surface. Great fun, great little scrap. Let's get him back, fight another day. Yeah, there's a fish. Finally one that was. There's a fish. Another little schoolie. This one's a greedy one. A small one. Back he goes. Nailed that lure. Right in the front of the boat.